Hello guys, and welcome back to today's tutorial. In this video we'll be making a simple pencil gown with a bell sleeve. This tutorial is very easy and straight to the point. If you're interested in this, kindly keep on watching and do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and share with your loved ones. Let's dive into today's tutorial. So I made use of 2 yards of this fabric. You also be needing a zipper and of course your sewing thread. So I have folded the fabric into two, and I have both the back and the front. So the back piece has a zipper allowance of 1.5 inches, as you can see, and the front piece is placed from that 1.5 inches mark, okay, as you can also see. So I also have a starting line, and to know the amount of fabric to fold, all you need to do is to divide the biggest part of your body measurement. It could be your waist, it could be your bust, by 4, then add extra like 3 inches to that. Okay, so now I have a starting line, and from this starting line I am going to take my neck width of 3 inches, and for the neck depth it is 2 inches. Okay, this dress is a high neckline dress. Okay, so just mark out your desired neckline. You can make yours wider if you want to. So I used 2 inches. Okay, so I'm not going to add any allowance on the neckline when I'm cutting it out. So I extended it to the zipper line because both the front and the back are the same neckline. So from this front piece I'll mark half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches, but because I'm cutting directly on the fabric I'm going to add ½ inch to that. So I marked 7.5 inches. Okay, and then from there I came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I connected it to the neckline just like this. So I'm going to mark my armhole. Okay, the formula will be on the screen if you don't know how to get that. So mine is 7.5 inches, and I just marked it here. So this will be our chest line, right? So after marking it from the shoulder line, I'll go ahead and mark all my horizontal measurements. So my bust point is 10 inches, my waist is 16 inches. Okay, and then the length of this gown is 33 inches. What I have here is 34. Okay, plus 1 inch for folding allowance, that made it 34 inches. So go ahead and mark out your desired length. So from this chest line now I'm going to mark half of my shoulder measurement again, just so that I have a straight line, and I connected the line like this. So after doing that, on this chest line I am going to mark, so I just labeled it as chest line, bust line, waist, and I just remember that I am yet to mark out the hip line. So from the waistline I am going to come down by 9 inches for my hip line, and this is it. So I'll also label it as H, okay, meaning hip line. All right, so after doing that, so I'll measure what I have here. So what I have, I'm going to divide it by 2, and I'm going to make a mark there, and this is the mark. So on this spot I'm going to go in by ½ inch like this. Okay, and then I'll come to the chest line and mark my bust circumference measurement, which is 9 inches, and I'm going to connect the 3 dots together. This is for the back armhole. Okay, so I made a mistake. So this is the initial one, this is the correct armhole. Okay, not the first one. All right, this one is the correct one. So after doing that, the chest and the bust line is already covered. So I'll come down to the waist and mark half of my waist measurement, 3/4 of my waist measurement rather, and I'm going to do the same thing for the hip. So for the hip I am not going to minus anything at the length of the gown because it is not going to have a slit. So I just took what I have on my hip down to the length of the dress. Okay, but if you want it very penciled, you can go ahead and minus whatever figure you want, but I don't minus anything. So I went ahead to add 1.5 inches allowance from the chest line down to the length of the dress. Okay, and I connected all the lines together like this. So this is it. So this is the front armhole. To get your back armhole, just go ahead and create a curve like this without going inwards by 1/2 inch. Okay, so that's just the difference between the back and the front armhole. So go ahead and add 1/2 inch on your shoulder line, after which you cut it out. So I'm not going to add any allowance on the neckline like I said earlier on. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So if you've watched this far, kindly give this video a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe. So we'll first of all cut out the back armhole. We'll cut out the front one later on. Right, so after doing that, split the back into two, and then I'm going to cut out the front armhole. Okay, so after doing that, I'll cut out the neckline for this dress. Okay, you can use a bias, but I'm going to cut out a facing for this. So just fold the fabric into two, then place your front piece on it like this, and then trace out the neckline just like this. And instead of tracing it out, I'll just use my scissors to just cut it out. Okay, so just go ahead and cut it like so. After cutting it, that part out, from here I'm going to measure 2 inches. Okay, so I just mark 2 inches. That is the wideness that I want my facing to be. Connected it like this, and I cut it out. So after cutting it out, I'm going to open the front piece so that I can attach the facing to it. So I'm going to place the facing right side just like this, and stitch by 1/2 inch like so. Okay, and then for the back, I also have this piece here being folded into two, and I'm going to place the back piece on it like so, and I'll also trace out the neckline for the back as well. All right, I'm going to also mark the same 2 inches that I marked for the front. So after doing that, I am going to also split the back into two, because we have two pieces for the back. So I'm going to open the back piece like so, and I'm going to just place it right side facing right side, and I'll stitch by 1/2 inch here and also on the other side. So now I arranged it back so that I'll be able to cut out the zipper bulge. So just extend your waistline like this. Okay, extend your waistline and then go in by 1/2 inch. Okay, so then connect the 1/2 inch upwards and downwards, just slantedly. Okay, like this, and then downwards like this, and then you cut it out. Okay, so this is what the back will look like. So that will get rid of zipper bulge. So I've turned the neckline. This is the front, and what you need to do after turning it out, make notches and then stitch it towards the facing. Okay, you can attach your hemming gum at this point. So for the back piece, I'm going to place my zipper. So I will fix my zipper to stop here, and I'll stitch from here all the way down. Okay, so I'll attach the zipper at the top, and this is what I have after doing that. So this is the hemming gum. If you don't know what hemming gum is, you place it under your neckline just like this, and then you use your iron to press it. Okay, so it will just slip perfectly. So I'm going to place the back piece on top of the front piece on top of the back piece, and stitch the shoulder. So to attach the shoulder, just open it up like this and stitch all the way down, or you use one piece to cover it up just like this and stitch it down. Okay, now I'm going to measure. After attaching the shoulder, I'll measure the armhole so that I can cut out my sleeve. After measuring the armhole, I'm going to now fold the piece that I have here. Okay, I got 10.5 for the armhole. So I just folded the sleeve. What I have here for the width is 11, and then the length is 26.5 inches. So after folding the sleeve, into two. I just drew out a starting line, and then from the starting line I'll mark my bicep. Okay, so I'm going to use 4.5 inches. So on this bicep line, that is where I'm going to mark what I measured on the dress. Okay, so 10.5, but I'm going to mark 11 inches here. So I'll just mark 11 inches for now, and then I'm going to connect it all the way straight like so. After connecting, I'm going to measure what I have here. Okay, and then I'm going to get the midpoint of what I have, which is here, and then I'm going to just connect it upwards like this. Okay, and then connect it downwards like this, just to create that sleeve curve. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to now measure this curved part. Okay, the curved part is where I'm going to measure to see if I have at least 11 inches. Okay, so this is my 11 inches, so I'll just mark it there, so you can see that I have excess. So you have to measure so that it will align with your dress. Okay, so after that I just took the line all the way down. So if you have more fabric, your sleeve will come out very, very nice, like the side of the sleeve. Okay, so after doing that, I just went ahead to cut this out. So if you have more fabric, you can fold more, okay, to have that bell sleeve effect very, very well. So I just went ahead to curve out the sides of the sleeve so that it is not looking sharp, and I notched the top parts of the sleeves. So this is my dress. I have opened it up, and I'm going to place it right side facing right side. Okay, so I'm going to face it right side facing right side. So the part where I notched, okay, so the first thing I'll do is to fold the hem of the sleeve. Okay, after folding it, then I'm going to attach it right side facing right side. So this is where I notched. Okay, so I'm going to just place it like this. I'll make sure that my seams are flat, and I'll place it like so, and I'll use my pin to just secure it like this. Okay, so after doing that, I'll just use my pin to pin it first, to be sure that it is not bigger, the sleeve is not bigger than the side of the dress. Okay, just to make sure that it aligns before stitching on it. So you can see that it aligns perfectly. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and stitch that side by 1/2 inch, and I'm going to repeat the same thing for this other side as well. So this is my sleeves. Okay, I've hemmed the bottom part, and it has neatly been fixed, and I have also marked out my, like, I've already shaped my dress, as you can see. So what I did was place my tape on the bust, on the waist, and on the hip, and marked out my body measurements. Okay, I divided it by 2, and I marked it out, and that is how to shape your dress. So after shaping the dress, I'll just go ahead and place my sleeve like so, and I'm going to stitch from here all the way like so. Can you see? So this is how I'm going to stitch it all the way down, and then stitch this other side. Then I'll go ahead and hem the bottom part. So after stitching on it, don't forget to make notches. Okay, so this is what I have after I was done stitching on it. So ensure that you make notches so that this dress lays perfectly, and then you give it a good press. Okay, so this is what the dress is looking like, guys. I hope you find this tutorial very helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and kindly give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye bye.